It looks like they're trying to move up to those blue bins. The question is, do Danish have angles on them? Skynade's coming in as well. The Watson Gen should be good enough to keep those at bay, though. But Danish, they're going to have to make the move first. The Catwall's going to go down as well, which is allowing GG to move away from some of these lines of sight. Now they're trying to play as much space as possible. If GG can survive for around 10 seconds, 15 seconds more, then they will have an opportunity to win this game. But survivability is all they are worried about right now.
Yeah, all the ults starting to arrive, but I think GG are in one of the better positions because they can reset behind this wall and watch all the drops. But sadly, the wall doesn't last long enough, and they're going to be the first focus point for some of these teams that have height.
Yeah, just caught out a little bit there. You see, they just didn't have enough cover. The wall maybe used a little bit earlier than it needed to be. They needed to survive, like I mentioned, for around 15, 20 seconds maybe even. As young Hong Kong and crew up on that high ground are playing the height for as long as they can. And in the end, they don't really need to do anything because the lobby takes care of itself. Some simple shots down in those final moments means that they will take home the win.
And Danish are going to be delighted with that because you mentioned it. It's one of those scenarios where
Nasky still tap streaming his way around that catalyst wall. EXO Clan in a great spot. K-Swinny on the Newcastle. He's got that mobile shield, and he's just moving it back to his team, giving them as much room as they can, making it difficult to push. And that just might open up the door, but they're fighting against the zone, and they go down after an amazing push from Kneecap there.
Nasky's still alive at the moment for 07. And is he healing himself in the smoke as well? He might have the perk to be healing himself in smoke, which is really helping his Kneecap will also fall. Nasky gets the job done, and Nasky's still doing God's work right now. Still alive into the top 3.
This can't go on much longer, but what a valiant effort there from Nasky to put himself in a top 3 position. We saw this once before. I'm not going to jinx it, but there's a little man named Hardeki, and he found a way in this type of situation to be the one to come out on top. It will not happen here. It was wishful thinking, but Nasky to get a top 3 after his whole team went down at top 6 certainly seems like he is sticking to his word to play much better this time around. Nine Lives Esports, they went down early. Vipes, he was the one who was taken down, but now he goes down first again, and his teammates who have found a way to revive him there. Hanzo's gonna get 1, but he will not get the second. It is players who will come out on top in our match day number 3, game 2.
All the way from Big Maud, players moved early and against the odds. So really struggling a little bit with being able to press anyone at the moment, and there are 3 different teams that are all in this area. DMS are taking a lot of damage, and 07 trying to capitalize on said damage, will do so, and they get eliminated. But can 07 reset? It looks like yes, but 3D Max are in the area, so 07 need to move fast here.
Yeah, 3D Max are here. Alliance will also have a little poke, so even though they played for the kills, it might come to cost 07 because there's a Devo in the vicinity. The Devo feeling devious. Eva in the back pocket as well. This man loves a care package, and he loves kills as well.
3D Max were just waiting in the wings to try and do some damage here, and boy, have they done said damage, but there is a last-minute hold from 07. It's a brave one, but not brave enough to keep them alive. Now Alliance will pick up the pieces. 3D Max, can they fight them off? No, they cannot. 3 squads remain, and 2 of them are currently in the choke. Alliance in the best position right now.
FA Kids just got eliminated as well, so it's a 3v3 by the looks of things, and they're trying to reset. ANC outplayed. Alliance recognize this fight just took place, and they are desperate to move up on this and take an opportunity that doesn't present itself very often. It's a free endgame for them. It's a free fight, and Alliance, who have been quiet so far, well, now they're about to make some noise.
Easy victory for Alliance in the end, but it was so well worked to find the position that they were in, and then being aggressive at the right time. It was a struggle bus in matches 1 and 2. But
does Mizuku have any Kraber bullets left? That's my question. They split the zone in half with the catwall. EXO Clan have the armor advantage by far, but that can all change with 1 headshot. A lot of pressure here on the Catalyst player to find an angle to hit a shot. But you can see that they don't really have great angles to play with. It's about playing the head glitch, which makes this shot even more difficult. But one thing that's going to give you an opportunity, maybe it's the castle wall. Knowing there's going to be a new castle behind it, you can pop ahead. 95's good, but is it good enough to win this fight?
Not even close. Mizuku takes so much damage in return, and it looks like Stay Healthy are going to do just the opposite of that. Is EXO Clan are your champion to start off Storm Point.
We're seeing some of our big names return.
And if they can do this without losing a player, without even taking too much damage, we should get a straight 3v3.
Well, Zane does have his ult back. The Beast of the Hunt is available and it's going to be popped. They go for that final kill. They will get it without taking damage. So it's a straight 3v3 now as the zone is again cut in half by this catwall. And now you're looking at armor advantage, you're looking at weapons, you've got Havocs, you've got everything, and you've got confidence here for 07 as well. They've won a lot of important team fights, they have a lot of KP, and they have a bang ult as well. Surely this is 07's game to win.
All they need is some of this utility, one of these grenades, one of these bang ults to hit, get that initial damage, and then they can get aggressive and push up on it.
Nasky trying to take a little bit of a wide angle, and now he's going to spray, and now he's going to do big damage, but he gets taken down. Maybe it was an overextension. Is Amphi able to capitalize on the damage? It's all up to Zane now. As a solo player, it's a 1v2, but Zane, he's done some crazy things in his time, but this is not going to be one to add to the collection. Danish will win it with a clutch win in the final 3v3.
Ult's coming down again to try and force Passion off of this height. But 07, they are being patient. They recognize that this is one of the better positions. But they're still worried that that drop is going to come. But I think Passion, if they are forced into this drop, they will be forced into a fight that they're most likely going to lose.
Well, Vex will be eliminated in the meantime, and you can see that now Stay Healthy, they're trying to get some shots down, but the players coming in from 07, they're trying to cut the zone in half. They want to take control of this rock for the endgame. Amphi's going to fly in, a little bit of a spray, not too much action when it comes to damage numbers, but his teammates are there to clean it up, and Stay Healthy will be eliminated. 3 squads remaining, 07 have made the play.
For 07, they reset slightly, but now Passion get involved, as well as Passion UA from a distance, but Passion have lost 1, make it 2. And there's one last remaining player for Passion to do some damage, and will be able to stay alive, but what can you do as an individual here?
You bank on the henchman, you win the game. Passion will get it done in the final game. What a performance it was from them to win the final moments. And there's a little bit of ice in the veins of the henchman as well, showing that beautiful thing that you cannot really quantify that's known as the clutch factor.
And that victory sends them up into the top 3, just 1 point behind Danish in the end. So close to jumping into the top 2. Yeah, you mentioned LG, but it is just a 1, of course, and TSM will be on the other side of that. Now TSM will hold the entire western side here and put themselves in one of the better spots, one of the better positions, because the entire eastern side is taken up by the remaining 4 teams. 3 teams now, excuse me, as Liquid Alienware go down.
And Reps is doing so much damage as well with that Knuckle Cluster. You saw him sticking 1 or 2 players. It was just ricochet damage, and he was just leveling up, and forcing all these teams to take damage as they fought as well. Complexity down to 2. And ARGStar that makes things a little bit more uncomfortable as well. And now they're burning. Now they're hurting. It's Kimchi who managed to get 1 shield cell off, but it's Reps who is being an absolute pest.
LG is a 1, Complexity is a 2. This is TSM's game in the bag. They surely would not throw it away from this position, but they still have to play it carefully. Sweet, though, maybe recognizing there is a weak player that he could potentially get KP and a 2nd place, and he wants to push it, but TSM will see this door and they'll push as well.
It's a 1v1. TSM will win the game, but LG managed to secure 2nd place thanks to the ramp play coming in from Sweet, but TSM, do not forget about this lineup. They are still here to win.
There is only one direction to go for these teams, and it's forward. SKD Mark maybe say, well, we might as well take this fight, and my goodness, dropped. Oh, you didn't drop a second, my friend. You dropped bullets onto them right there, and you've got barely any health. The zone moving in, the knockdown shield blocking away, and maybe, just maybe, a huge play here from Dropped. And I think a medkit here, Dan. I think you hit the medkit. There's 2 players alive.
2 players alive, a Devo in hand, and a potential for Drop to do something, but only 3 squads remain. FURIA are on the high ground watching all of this, and arguably should win this game from this position. As soon as they see anything in the kill feed, they're gonna get involved. Drops can help FURIA win this game, but Flat still have a full 3 here. So SKD have to be careful. They go down. Now FURIA, they make their move.
They make their move. They transition early enough to the God spot, and they walk down amongst the mere mortals to claim what looks like to be an easy victory. FURIA get furious in game number 2, and you gotta love it because, man, that was a game of chess, not checkers. It was strategy to get to that position.
As SKD try and move through, and this is so smart from TSM. They're just forcing them away. They don't really want to kill them immediately. They just want to force them away from the position that they're holding. However, the banger comes in from TSM, and it's going to be Reps on the fuse again, who is hitting the big nades.
Hitting the nades, and it forced them towards Cloud9, but Cloud9 now heading to center zone, but TSM have this north side. The worry is Monsoon. He is very close to TSM, but they don't know it at the moment. Of course, do have the Bloodhound, so the likelihood is they will spot Monsoon shortly. Doesn't matter. Monsoon goes down. No highlight reel for him in the final circle, but I'm sure there were some big shots here earlier. Cloud9 now lost one as well. Here comes TSM and Cloud9 to have a fight.
It's the solo coming in behind Cloud9, who might have just thrown their game, trying to pick up 1 KP, and that just creates an opening now for TSM. Board will be taken down. It is going to be MJ as that solo. Now it's going to be C9 versus TSM, but C9 are only down to 2. TSM looking for their second win out of 3 games here as Verhulst will close it out. TSM, 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, and looking in fine form are TSM at just the right time.
Well, TSM are going to be pretty content with what they're seeing in front of them, and that's some Dark Veils going down with time still left on the clock. So teams are rotating away from the position they find themselves in, which means they're probably going to run into each other. That's why you're seeing LG be eliminated. They will fall. The last 2 players will go down, and now TSM have to make their play. And my zap! If you're looking for firepower, well, there's a good example of it. A beautiful spray with Havoc, big damage, Oblivion eliminated in the meantime.
No contest at all. Nothing. Not a knuckle cluster. Not a grenade. I mean, that was their biggest threat. It looked like TSM was playing against somebody who wasn't even firing back. That was huge from them, and now they put their lead to 55 points. 4 squads left. They've made it again into the situation. LG has gone down. It's FURIA, NGNL, Empire Gaming, and TSM here in our final 4 with only 12 players left.
And now the climb up is massive here for TSM. Can they survive long enough? Can they get up without taking too much damage as the Veils will fall? And it's time for us to enter the final act as TSM look to pick up yet another win here. FURIA will be eliminated. EMEA Gaming will be the final winners, though, as they clean up the final pieces in that end game. That's one of my favorite games of Stormpoint I've seen for quite some time. That end zone was fun. And the long-haired hero, the man who loves an up-close endgame gunfight, is back in this game. R9, by the way, in the hands of Arcane. I know he's been away for a while, but did you know there's better guns right now when it comes to SMGs? I'm joking.
I'd like to hope that he's got a good clip for it. That's as long as you've got a good clip. Blue, purple I would have been all right with, but you know, the R9 in the right hands can still do a lot of damage. It's just the clip size. You just need to be ready to whip out your other weapon. But there's a bit of a standoff at the moment. Everyone reluctant to poke out. You can see Native Gaming, whichever side they go at, they're being targeted by a certain team. And this is actually a really fun final circle because the only things you've got to hide behind are kind of trees and rocks. And then there is a very central area where everyone is going to meet. And this is perfect for a 3 versus 3 versus 3. If there was 4 teams, it might be a bit messy. But now it becomes a game of bravery. Who kind of peaks first? Who has to force themselves out?
FURIA making their move. FURIA want to swing. FURIA trying to creep up here and get that initial damage. A spray's going to come in. It's pretty good. Madness gets out of trouble as well. Vaxon tries to follow up. FURIA get that first knock. FURIA get the second as well. Native Gaming get eliminated. The shield swaps come in. But is it enough now to hold off the push coming in from NGNL? They're going to swing themselves. Native Gaming, they don't have anything to say about this endgame as NGNL move in to clean up the last pieces of FURIA. Surely this is their game. NGNL will be your champions of game number 5.
Well, NGNL, who dropped at Jurassic, will win the game in Jurassic. But it's Zap and Verhulst as a duo, 2 points behind FURIA, and a chance to win the entire day here.
Question is, what do they do? Where do they play? Because LG are going to be looking at them. They play for the smokes. Now, Verhulst does have the ability to get the health regen in the smokes as well, so those smokes are going to be even more useful for them. But they've got to hold off with just pure gun at the moment. Bullets and ammo is all they can use. They don't have any other color. One more smoke comes up at just the right time. No ultimate to use to buy them even more time. And I think the call has been made now for TSM to look for some KP. 5 squads remaining as SKD will go down, as Verhulst will pick up a KP himself.
They are 1 point behind FURIA now. They need another placement point or maybe a KP. They find the KP. They're tied with FURIA as a duo, but they are still not quite there yet. 1 more point required. LG can certainly add to this if TSM can just about survive, but Sykes gets sent to Narnia. Vanity eliminated, and TSM take first place.
TSM take first place. It is a monumental effort from the duo in the endgame as Sykes, who was just knocked into the Shadow Realm for a few seconds, now is trying to relocate his crosshair onto the team up on that high ground. Him and Fog are going to have to do the work, and they might be able to get the reset here on Sweet as well.
We've seen LG do crazy things as a solo, and they might be able to get up to a full 3. As you mentioned, Sweet is getting rezzed, and LG back on their feet, and now with the opportunity, with the position they find themselves in to maybe win this game.
Skynade might be be massive here. If it's perfect, it could knock Complexity back down with a bump. Complexity have to drop, though. The Rolling Thunder's going to come in. TSM eliminated as Complexity will get the win. That's what they wanted to close the day out. Complexity will be your champions of the final game. But TSM, that name is synonymous with winning, and they are not making any changes as they look like they've taken first place away.
TSM will take first place. Complexity secure top 3, and actually we're only 1 point off of taking second place from FURIA as well.